All right, hello everyone. Love it when I hit start stream and walk away to get water. What's up, guys? Pink, Simon, Nick, Fabrice is third. What's up, Ray? CBOE approved? No, absolutely not. This is a Ripple event, ladies and gentlemen. Busy dumping pot stocks. I don't know. I actually don't think the pot move is done, believe it or not. I think what you're seeing is an early accumulation, and I think it's probably going to continue. I don't know about tomorrow, but I think over the next, few months, I think you're going to see good things coming out of the marijuana stocks. As a matter of fact, I've been talking about the ETF MJ here, and looking really healthy on MJ. So I would. That's what I'm investing in right now. You guys do what you want to do, but Tilray was down 17%. MJ's up 4%. I can't be too mad at that. It's hard to pick the stocks every day. Sometimes you just take the ETF. So what's going on, guys? Got your Ripple up about 40%. Is what was up as much as 50%. If you guys don't know, Ripple has actually announced the launch of their mainnet, if you will, for kind of a lack of a better term. So if you don't know about XRP, there's a company called Ripple that issued XRP. Ripple itself basically issues consulting services to help blockchain, implement blockchain in banks based on XRP. Not the token XRP, but the Ripple network. They implement Ripple in closed environments between banks. For the banks that cannot afford that implementation, I think it's called Xcurrent, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can maybe in chat speak up if you know the exact term. And then now what they're doing is for the other banks that can't afford that custom solution that does not use the XRP token, now they're implementing XRapid, and I believe that is the name. And this product is kind of an SDK, if you will, where you can just plug into the XRapid network that actually uses the XRP token. And this is what they're announcing will probably go live within a month, which is actually causing this run up in cryptocurrency in Ripple that we're seeing here, and it's since flooded into the other cryptocurrencies. And we've actually been talking about this since yesterday over in the Real Crypto Power Hour. We noted it ever since the pump over here. We noted the news. We noted the price action. We said this wasn't done by a long shot, and that's proven to be correct. And I'm also saying right now, as the price looks right here and now, this is not primed for this move to be done. This move will continue. We've been likening this to the mainnet launch of EOS, if you recollect how that worked out. So here's the mainnet launch of EOS, and if you remember, get rid of the bars are there. EOS had a pretty spectacular run. Oh, I'm still in the 2 hour. That's why it's so low. But I think we're partially up through. I say maybe we're here. Maybe we're halfway up through this run. You could even argue we're even earlier in the run. It just kind of depends. But this is what happened on EOS's mainnet launch. And that's pretty much all this pump was about, was the mainnet launch. It stopped well before the mainnet, mind you. Well before the mainnet. We talked about this morning in the Power Hour. We talked about how we exited up here on EOS, and I don't know exactly where everyone exited, but you could time this one pretty easily. And we had our last exit, I think, was up here at 1950. We had it up here in the chart for a while, but that's what I'm likening this XRP movement to, is the EOS movement. I don't think this is done. I wouldn't be buying it here particularly, but we would. I would wait for this to base out and probably take a high. Dan with a super chat. I thought Bitcoin was supposed to break down. So that's a kind of an ominous question. Thank you for the super chat, Dan. Supposed to implies that there's a certainty behind it. There's no certainty. Bitcoin, as it sits, even right now, hasn't really done anything super bullish. Hasn't done anything bullish. Okay? The fact it's breaking down means it hasn't done anything necessarily extraordinarily bearish, except for the massive price drop. I mean, within Bitcoin. So hold on, let me get my chart normalized here. What's kind of happening now is if we fail to break 6,000, the price probably will normalize here and probably will curl up. Okay? The action right here is kind of, nothing's broken out yet. I guess that's the general gist of it. Nothing's broken to the upside. I'm remaining a bear in the Bitcoin market until we see confirmation that we're going into a bull market. I don't arbitrarily call bottoms and try to sound smart. That's not what I do. Okay? That's not at all what I do. I go with what the market tells me. The market here said we were going lower on this trend line coming here. We went lower. The market said we were going lower right here to me. We reversed and we went higher. Okay? Now, as we still make these lower highs, it's going to come to a squeeze point, and we're getting to that squeeze point. We hit one squeeze point, you know, I guess there. Like we were at a squeeze point here, we hit a bear flag, and then we broke beneath the bear flag. That's pretty classic chart action. Oh, thanks, Mel. I appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat. Now, right now, we're sitting on that 6,000, you know, give or take level. We're sitting on that 6,000 give or take level. So we're stuck, and there's a range right here. There's a range right here. And the longer that we continue above 6K without breaking beneath it, the more it looks like it may be a bottom. At the same time, we still haven't had any major rallies. So everyone, you know, if you think we've bottomed, it's still just a thought. There's no, you know, it's not supposed to break down. It can break down, and the market action says it should break down. Okay, doesn't mean it will. So I don't know if that kind of addresses your question there, Dan, in terms of Bitcoin breaking down. But like if you look at the daily, I will say it has some pretty nice green candles here, but we still have the overarching theme is we're perfectly happy down here at 6,000. There's no major volume bringing us higher, which usually means we'll roll over. But if we don't hit this level here, we've already hit this level a number of times. If we maintain above 6,000, which isn't hitting this level is 59.75 or 58.75, I forget. But I think it's 58.75. If we don't hit down towards this level and we maintain above 6,000 here, then we're not testing this trend line, and we may go higher. And I kind of have a loose theory around Ripple right now. If this mainnet launch of Ripple, this X Rapid mainnet launch, if this is successful, you may start hearing about Ripple in the news. Ripple is the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap with the most real-world use case around it. If this is successful and this price goes up, hits $1, right, which it could do. If this price rallies and hits $1 and this mainnet launch is good, it may bring a few people back into cryptocurrencies. I think it has a possibility of doing that. If you start seeing lots of news out there about cryptos and Ripple and banks using it and all this good news, that could start a shift in market sentiment and bring in some new money. Mel says ETH is bull flagging, some money from XRP probably going to be dumped into ETH. I'm telling you, ETH is squeezed between a Bollinger Band position for a pop. XRP might overtake ETH soon. Really? Let's take a peek at their ETH. I mean, Ethereum's down, I mean, a tremendous amount, so I don't really doubt that too much. Hold on a second. I want to see if okay, I'm good. I can pick something if I want to. Okay, I can use this one. Coin market cap. Be pretty interesting if it went to number 2. It was at number 2 for a while, if you remember. Yeah, 18 to 22. So, yeah, if we go a little bit more, and if Ethereum doesn't really bounce, then yeah, it definitely could overtake. But you know, this has really bled over into the rest of the market. 42% on the number 3 coin, coin market cap coin is a big move. It's a really big move. Yeah, Ripple was number 2 for a while. Definitely was number 2 for a while. So let's see what else is moving here. We've got Stellar up about 15%. That's a pretty big move for Stellar. Actually, did our alerts go off on that one, guys? It must have. I saw some alerts pop off. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest with you, because Ripple's been up so good. But we brought XLM back up. Yep, it broke our level right there. So that's good. That's really good right there. Volume's okay. Volume's not that bad in XLM. Let's see what else is popping up here. Got Nano up 12%. That's okay. What the hell? Is my mouse dead? I think my wireless mouse just died. Yep, it died. Now I gotta... Okay, this mouse sucks, guys, so keep in mind that there may be some issues with navigation with this mouse. It's finicky. Bats up 11%. That's not too bad. You got Mithril for some stupid reason. Aurora up 41%. Wow, that's quite a big move. But still, bringing a lot of the coins up with it, which is good. I mean, you got Bitcoin breaking over a few prior resistance levels. You've got Ethereum breaking over a few prior resistance levels. And so there's Ethereum at 220, trying to break out of that flag pattern right there it's been stuck in. Looks like it did break out of the pattern right there. It hasn't really moved higher. Volume getting a little aggressive up here. I would kind of wait a little bit. I don't think this is going to rally. I don't think Ethereum's going to go up necessarily. I think it'll base and then it may move higher after some kind of a consolidation. Mel, I'm not sure about your theory about XRP money going into ETH. Why wouldn't they just keep it in XRP if it's going to keep pumping? I think that's probably the more prudent move. I think you're seeing a lot of sympathy moves out of the market because, I don't know, when you get a big coin pumping like that, it can really lead to some market moves. And we've seen that with Bitcoin, we've seen that with Ethereum. It's just now Ripple's doing it, and it seems a little unorthodox. And so mentioned XRP is up quite a bit in 2 or 3 days. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what my position is up here right now, about 45%. I got in down here on a pullback the other day. Or, it was yesterday, actually. It was yesterday. So, yeah. Ripple looking pretty good up here. I don't think it's unhealthy at all. I think we're going to consolidate and head higher in time. That's my opinion. ADA volume convincing to you. Let's take a peek at ADA volume. So actually ADA broke out yesterday. This was our alert level in ADA for the Real Crypto Power Hour. And we broke that yesterday. Whipsawed around it. I mean, obviously a lot of coins had that crazy candle yesterday. I think everyone's already forgot about that candle. But I think the volume there is pretty good. Some topping action so far in Cardano. But again, the news is with Ripple. Most of these moves are complementary moves, if you will, and things are still down a considerable amount. So I don't mind if you guys want to buy some of these down here, but I would expect some volatility. That's all I'm going to say, is because on a lot of these coins, these aren't, if the market's moving a little bit, that's good, but XRP is kind of a singular event. So a lot of these coins that are moving are going to have bigger, deeper pullbacks. Jamie says, hello everyone in cryptocurrency land. Hello, Jamie. Absolutely cryptocurrency land. All right, so XRP is kind of the big news of the day, guys. That's really, and it's if you look at it on the daily, so this is on Binance, the volume looks pretty exceptional here, and it is. The volume is really exceptional here. Let's go out to Poloniex, which is an older exchange. I think it's kind of losing some momentum to coins like Binance. So the volume here I don't think looks as healthy as probably it should be. So maybe we can find another exchange. Maybe we want to look at Bittrex. We can look at Bittrex. I guess something good to see is what is the biggest exchange. Cyberfunk says XRapid hasn't even gone live, and it's called buy the rumor, sell the news. Cyberfunk is that when something kind of is barely announced, that's when you start buying. When it actually hits the airwaves and everyone knows about it, then is when you sell. So buy the rumor, sell the news is how that works. And now we're in a buy the rumor phase of the market. So Bitfinex actually looks like that's the majority of the volume. I don't think I've got Bitfinex up here. Let's look at Bitfinex. Bitfinex has been around a while. That's shorts and longs. There we go. Ripple, Bitcoin. Sure, let's look at that. Okay, even that one, the volume isn't tremendous. Not super tremendous, not to what we've seen in the past, but it's still very good volume and coming out of pretty low levels. Now, I will mind you as well, if you look at it on the U.S. dollar chart, XRP did retrace pretty much its entire last pump. I mean, it came all the way down here to the 24 cent level. You can see on my cursor all the way to the left. That's right where it broke out from. So, pretty normalized price action, actually. Yeah, pretty normalized price action from a pullback perspective. Obviously, we know Ethereum's undercut that 300 level, which was its earlier breakout point. So, just everything in its own time. What's up, A-Lag? Also known as Permahoy. Take on XLM latching onto the XRP move. They're two different companies, still strongly tied in market moves. I don't know if they're as strongly tied in market moves. We just looked at XLM a little bit ago, but it's just, so they've completely separated at this particular point in time. They used to trade a lot together, not so much anymore. And XLM, I guess it is okay in terms of things, but we noted here it broke our level. We had an alert level set, at least against Bitcoin over here. It kind of, guess what would be the 21. It's sitting here. It looks like 23 and change. So it's moving okay. I don't know if it's going to move with XRP. I do believe that the price action has diverged quite significantly. They are two completely different networks. They're fairly successful networks, and so I think they're just kind of doing their own thing. XRapid won't even be using the token XRP. I thought that was the whole premise behind XRapid, Swartz. Their XCurrent product does not use XRP, but XRapid is supposed to use XRP. That's been my my knowledge on this information. So maybe I'll look it up here off screen. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. There we go. Woo! Sneezes are brutal. Yeah, so I know XCurrent does not use XRP, but I thought that XRapid did them. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought too, Miguel. Yeah, and that's the main reason for the pump in XRP. So this is not like a mainnet launch. I mean, it kind of is, but it's kind of not. So the EOS mainnet launch was almost like a non-event, I think, because no one uses EOS. They may 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, but XRP actually will use the XRP token, or so that's a big deal. The only question I have that I haven't really looked into yet, guys, is how much XRP do you need if you're going to transfer funds? Are you going to spend 1 XRP token per transaction, or is it 1 XRP token per $1,000, or like what is the ratio to XRP per transaction? If it's 1 XRP per transaction, I think there's like what, a billion XRP or something ridiculous like that. Not to mention all the stuff that, 100,000 million billion. Total supply is like 100 billion XRP. So even if it's 1 XRP per transaction, to transfer funds, the amounts must equal in value. Oh, really? That could be interesting. That could be very interesting. It kind of doesn't make sense. So if XRP is $1 and you're going to transfer $1 billion, so you need $1 billion. You need to buy $1 billion on XRP to transfer $1 billion. So wouldn't XRP basically be Tether at that particular point in time? That kind of makes sense. I need to think about. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll reach out to Ripple or something. So if Ripple's $3, why would you Yeah, I guess I don't. Yeah, that's my point, Aviad. What if Ripple's $2? We've already seen it. It was at 340 it peaked at. So if it's up that high, what's the impetus for the banks to use it? I mean, it would make sense if Ripple's like a penny. Well, I wasn't stating you should use Tether. I'm simply stating if it's going to be a one-for-one transference, then anyway, I guess if they get that money back, it's not a big deal. But I guess I just fully want to understand what this marketplace will entail and how the XRP token fits into it. Because like if it were a stock, I know how to deal with a stock. But if you're going to view this as a commodity token, which I guess is really what it's going to be, is you really need to know how it's going to be used. So go learn XRP. I agree, Stephanie. Or is that Stefan? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name there, buddy. Also, I'm saying, Nick. So how does that? Yeah. So how does that work? I guess I'm going to spend some time researching that. No, Ferris, I understand that. I'm not saying I'm investing in the company. I'm not talking about the company at all. I'm literally talking about the use of the token, Ferris. So I think there's a miscommunication there. Well, Aviad, XRP is not going to be a useless token anymore. If they have that XRapid platform, it will literally be a use case for it. Well, you do with the XRapid platform, Aviad. That's kind of what we were just going over. So they have an XCurrent product, and they have an XRapid product, and they have an XVIA product. I actually don't know much about XVIA. But I know XRapid is supposed to use the XRP token to transfer across the network. So it will be using XRapid. Anywho, that's kind of the fundamental case. But from a price action perspective, I mean, this Ripple's great. Just from a strictly price action perspective, it's behaving really well. You've got, I mean, excellent volume. You have excellent price action. This was our trend line we drew earlier this morning. Obviously, it never even came close to getting hit. So overall, it's really good. XRP is doing really good. Selling down now a little bit. We knew volumes would be accelerated. Looks like 20 minutes left to go, and we're going to see pretty decent selling candle there, but I think in time that'll be curled back up. Wesley, what did I miss? Well, we kind of missed XRP rallying a tremendous amount is pretty much what we're looking at. Mel says, margin question, what would your stop be on XRP for a potential long position? Well, you don't have an entry, so I don't think you can place your stop yet, Mel. I will just wait and see what the chart does, how it behaves over the next... we just had a pretty strong move in XRP. It's probably going to take a while for that to wear off. We had a very nice candle here and a very nice candle here, and you're seeing some of that profit taking as we got towards 50 cents. And so we just need to see how it's going to behave. There's lots of room for it to kind of work, and it'll probably take a couple of days for it to wear off. So when you have an entry point, Mel, you'll have an opportunity to see where your stop's going to be. But I don't think you have a good stop right now. That's interesting, Kelly. I've never heard about that before. Coil for your website. That's weird. XRP now accepted at YouTube and Twitch through Coil. Huh. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out later. Thank you for that. Didn't hear about that. Just trying to read some comments, guys. Ed says, whoever's going long on XRP right now is taking a huge risk. I agree with that statement. So technically you should have bought XRP on the breakout here, or you had a little small pause. We had an alert here earlier, and when that alert went off in the Slack chat room, hopefully some people bought that. I know some people didn't, but we've been talking about that. We talked about it today. We talked about it yesterday, and that was we talked about the move. We talked about the news in the Power Hour, and that's what happens. Is sometimes you get some really good moves. Stonger says 2 hours ago the ETF was delayed for 3 more months. Is anyone talking about this? No, because everyone's sick and tired of the ETF. I don't even want to hear the word anymore, at least in relation to Bitcoin. I think the ETF is a non-issue. It's always been a non-issue, and it's pretty much just whatever retail investors, you know. It's a non. I don't like the ETF news. I never have, to be honest with you. The only time I ever really talked about it was, I guess, when everyone else was talking about it. But it's never been a main topic of conversation for me, nor is I think really that important right now for Bitcoin. There's a lot of hoops that need to be jumped through, and it doesn't mean instant adoption for Bitcoin, guys. I don't know. Ever since this bear market started, everyone has latched onto one news story after the next news story. What's the thing that's going to bring Bitcoin out of this? Like, everyone's just scrounging for something, and that's just the next thing they're scrounging for. I guess that's the best way to put it. One of the biggest banks in the U.S. just partnered with Ripple. Yeah, you know, Ripple. See, that's the thing. A lot of people think Ripple is this and Ripple is that, and they don't think it's a real crypto. Well, regardless of what you think, Ripple is seen as a cryptocurrency. It trades in the cryptocurrency markets, and it just may give legitimacy to cryptocurrencies. Think about it. If the blockchain that banks are using is Ripple, that's going to give a little bit more legitimacy to blockchain overall, and blockchain leads you back to Bitcoin. Okay? Now, I don't believe in most of these other cryptocurrencies, but I do believe in Bitcoin. I do believe in Ethereum. I was actually talking with a buddy Eli earlier about this. I think Ethereum is like the Microsoft of cryptocurrencies, of blockchain technology. And then I do believe in Ripple, especially. I mean, guys, Ripple, the company, has been really pushing the adoption of cryptocurrencies and all these different systems. And, I mean, you're seeing it now. They've already implemented xCurrent in a number of places. Now they're going with xRapid. They're moving ahead with plans. And not even plans, not like EOS's mainnet launch, which was kind of a non-event. Ripple could literally legitimize blockchain technology. I mean, really. And when you think about the uses for cryptocurrencies, they're few and far between. Like, we trade these things, obviously, but your real use case for Tron, Neo, NEM, Ethereum Classic, VeChain, Doge, Zcoin, I'm talking about these ones down here in my chart, are very, very few and far between. Many of these compete with each other. No one competes with XRP. No one competes with it. And so it kind of has a monopoly in terms of cryptocurrency banking transactions. At least to my knowledge, I don't know of anyone else making near the headway that XRP is. It's got the money to do it. It has the customers to do it. And it has the connections. I mean, I believe they're even on the board of the Federal Reserve for their alternative whatever. I talked about that like 6 months ago. Anywho, let me get back to some of these questions down here. Yeah, Ripple has positioned themselves very well. Cryptos that are backed by physical gold? No. Nothing's backed by physical gold in the crypto world. There was one fund doing that, and I would not trust a cryptocurrency. I would not trust that I could walk into that office and get my gold. That's it. I would not trust that. I would not trust that. Where is it at? I just saw it. Cool Frost Mint, what's up, buddy? Why are you pumping XRP now? I don't know if I'm really pumping XRP. It's had an amazing price action. It's the story of the day. I'm basically covering the story of the day. And if you asked me that question about Ripple 3 weeks ago, I would have given you the exact same answer. I'd have given you the exact same answer. What's different now, Cool Frost, is that they've announced the XRapid project. that they're going live with it in about a month, and that is now I'm the first one to say there's no fundamentals in cryptocurrency. Okay, we've had arguments and discussions about this. There's no fundamentals to cryptocurrency, but there is a fundamental use case for cryptocurrencies, and XRP is launching one of the fundamental use cases. And so I firmly believe that if XRP has their network launch and it is successful, and banks continually use the product, they will use it more and more. So they're going to test XRP out with small amounts, and they're going to slowly give it more and more and more transactions and more money. That is a fundamental use case for Ripple. And what I was referring to earlier, which I don't know if you heard Cool Frost, if you were here or not, I was trying to figure out how much Ripple you need to make a transaction on the network, because that specifically and fundamentally goes to how much Ripple will be used on the network and how much an XRP token could be worth. In the same way that oil prices, in the same way that some other commodity prices can kind of be, you can kind of derive value from that. You could derive value from Ripple, and so that's what I'm talking about. I'm not really pumping Ripple. My view on Ripple's been the same. Go back to some of my, I've really never made too many videos on Ripple, but I've had this exact same use case. I said XRP was a worthless token, but is being pumped. Right now, it may no longer be a worthless token. Okay, may no longer be a worthless token. We'll have to see how this works out with the X current platform. Wesley, I passed up a lot of questions, my friend. I try to give detailed answers so people understand my position and how I think, and to engage in a conversation, which our buddy over here did, and answered his question. So, a short position of 37 with a stop loss at 51. I think that's a crazy wide stop loss, Wesley. I would never do that. I would not. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. The risk reward's not there for me. I would see. Here's the thing, guys. Ripple's up here now. Everyone's planning trades. We planned our trade down here in the base. I didn't say we planned our trade down here. I'm not. I don't know Ripple's going to pump like that. I had no idea it was going to do that. Okay, but the guys in the Power Hour yesterday will tell you this. When we popped, and we heard the news that Ripple's mainnet launch was going, we knew it was bigger than one pop. We knew it was bigger than this. Okay, we planned the trade on the breakout here. The alert went off here. We moved our alert this morning up here. Okay, to that 37 and change level. Okay, that's how you go about these trades. Now, as we're topping up here, if you think we're topping up here, you can go to the 15-minute time frame. I mean, there's a topping candle right there. If you want to plan a short, it's up here. I don't think it's down here. I don't think that's the case. You're basically, right now you're kind of probably in the middle range of a consolidation. And so I wouldn't be shorting here or going long here. I wouldn't be doing either of those. Let me give this RSI off of here. What up, Bo? How you doing, Bo? I didn't see you you weren't in the Power Hour today, were you? Corey says, but Randy, I thought 5,000 was supposed to be here and everything was supposed to capitulate. LOL. Man, someone someone wants to feel good about themselves today, it looks like. So usually comments like that that Corey have just mentioned are by people that have watched one or two of my videos and don't generally listen to my overall message. So if you want to have an actual conversation, Corey, instead of that, I'll be happy to have that conversation with you. Actually, we had a conversation like that a couple of live streams ago. Someone posted a very similar comment and then apologized and subscribed to my channel after he actually understood what I stood for and how I view the market. So it's always funny when I hear comments like that, because I really want to talk with you and explain the overall thing with Bitcoin, but I've done it like 15 times, and I get a little tired of saying the same thing over and over again. The only thing I'll say to that is Bitcoin hasn't rallied. And actually, I already addressed this earlier. Someone said something very similar. So you can go back and watch that part of the video later. Wes, let me go back to your question. I didn't mean to pass it up. Yes, I did do your question. I think it's a bad idea. Oh, I just jumped to the bottom here. Just reading some questions, guys. Nick says coins must have a use case. I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. And there's none of these cryptos have a major use case except for XRP. And I have said that in the past. Not all the time, I mean. So, that's all. So Crypto says if you're transferring 10 billion from US to China, you will need 10 billion worth of XRP at whatever price it is currently exchanging at. Yeah, so someone said something, that you need a dollar for dollar. So answer me this, Crypto, Cubanito. If you buy that Ripple, do you get that Ripple back? I mean, obviously you would, right? So, or do I just buy 10 billion of Ripple and then it's gone? I guess that would make sense, right? So if I'm a bank, someone gives me 10 billion, I buy 10 billion of Ripple, send it across the waves or the wire, then they sell 10 billion of Ripple and get their dollar. I guess that makes sense. All right, going down to the bottom here. Can't read all the questions. Too many coming through. Stonger says, call me crazy, but all this pump action to me is last effort all the bulls have left. Maybe with some of them, Stonger. Maybe with some of them. I think Ripple's going through kind of a fundamental thing. But I don't know about the rest of them. I don't know if Bitcoin is, it hasn't had a major pump. Like we had that crazy candle yesterday. Remember that crazy candle? Right? We tried selling off. That didn't work. We got supported at 6,100, which I kind of gave it a lot of credit right there. We're talking in the chat room like, wow, that actually. And actually, we said that this morning too. It popped higher, but didn't really follow through. So it's followed through today, but this was on the backs of Ripple. I don't think this is less about Bitcoin than it is about Ripple, I think. Thanks, Jay Fushi. Appreciate that. So Wesley took a short. What's up, Paul? Sorry, I'm trying to see if I missed any good questions I want to answer. Doug says, question, did you forget that Collex was already using XRapid? Well, I didn't know that to forget it. And, all I know is that the Ripple company is the one stating that they're going to launch the XRapid product. So if there may be one or two test banks out there, that definitely could be possible. I don't think that's out of the question at all. Yeah, not sure, Jason Moo. How does the receiving bank liquidate the XRP, though? I'm not sure on that. Paul says, it seems like the price of XRP would have to be steady as a rock for that to work, or am I not understanding? I think I was a little confused by that too, Paul. I think what it is that you buy 10 billion of XRP and you send it to someone else and they sell it. They may take a little hit on it or something, but obviously XRP shouldn't be going at 40% a clip. I think I think in time it will kind of level itself out. So Wesley took the short at 47. Let's go take a peek. But I'm not really sure of the target because it was such a big move. Okay, so yeah, 47. Let's go back to the 15-minute. Okay, that's a little better. That's not bad. In terms of a profit target, I would actually look for So a number of things could happen, but a few situations, I guess. So first things first, this volume is dropping off pretty rapidly on the sell side. So that's why I say this move isn't over. I don't think this move is over by a long shot. I think we have more room to go in Ripple. But if you're shorted there at 47, you're profitable here. You're getting kind of a big candle. You want to wait to, if this candle is your bottom and we kind of smooth out here, you may want to start to close that short. Really what you want to see, I don't know if I can show a prime example. Like there's a good bottoming candle. You want to try to find some kind of a bottoming candle, right? Like a very high volume candle a little further out from the base, or not the base, but from where we topped. You want to see a bottoming candle somewhere is what you want to see. Now, I don't necessarily do targets. I wouldn't have shorted at 47 personally, so I don't know exactly how to plan that trade for you. But you could get back down here to 42, maybe test this high. That could be a decent place to pull back to, and not at all out of the ordinary. So you may have a little bit of room to run, but I would more focus on your stop, and maybe at this 47.83 level, something like that. But I would look for a bottoming candle to try to exit that position. Mr. Montrese said it looks more like a flag. Yep, it does kind of look like a flag. I'm looking at the volume signature, to be honest with you. Tick chart says go. I believe it. There's some nice wicks in there. That could very well be true, Nick. That could very well be true. There could be, there could be a market maker position open for Ripple that just takes the spread. I mean, hell, I'll take a 0.5% spread on a $10 billion transaction. I also will remind you, and I'm probably going to go after this. I have to go pick up my kids. I will remind you, Ripple's every month. Ripple is going to be selling, I think it's 1 billion XRP. Ripple XRP, what's it called? Trust. So the last time that Ripple pumped, it pumped based on the fact that they were going to put all this Ripple into a trust. Okay, and all this trust I think has like a billion Ripple or something like that in it, and they own like half of it, and they're going to sell 1 billion Ripple per month, okay, to distribute that, and darn it. Anyway, you guys can look this up on your own accord. I don't know. I don't have the time to look this up right now, but they're going to sell 1 billion a month to these institutions, and they're going to make that $1 billion, right, every month. And it's going to be dumped as liquidity onto the market over time. So there is going to be a price pressure there. I got XRP wrong. You send 1 billion worth of XRP. I thought I said that. Thank you for the super chat, Ferris. I appreciate that. Yeah, each month 1 billion of XRP released from escrow. Whatever they don't sell goes back into escrow. Exactly. There you go. So Nick spelled it out better than I could. I knew it was something like that. Wow. Permahoy says it pretty big buy wall, 2 million coins worth of XRP. I believe it. Yeah, I definitely believe it. Like I said, I don't think this run was done, and I think it's still going to get going. So there you go, guys. All right, I'm going to take off, guys, and I'm going to use this last minute to kind of talk about my Real Crypto Power Hour. If you guys are interested, we talked about that XRP move a while ago, and we talk about the market every single day in the Power Hour. You can go over to the services part of my website, real-crypto.com. Sign up for the Power Hour there if you're interested. Every single day we go over the market for between an hour to 2 hours. And, you can get more real crypto. Join the community. Talk with the guys. Put in some good trades. We got lot of good people in the community there. So, and I thought I said that, Ferris. Yeah, if you want to send $1 billion, okay. So if you want to send $1 billion, if I want to send $1 billion to Ferris because I got it like that, I will buy $1 billion of XRP and I will send it to Ferris. I think that's how it works, and then Ferris can do whatever he wants with it. So, but all right, guys, I gotta go get my kids. Thanks for joining me today. Yeah, if anything, if you still want to join the community but aren't quite sure about the Power Hour, feel free to sign up for our Slack chat room, which is a free service. There's no charge for that. Go ahead and fill this out on the front end here. And if you have any questions or questions about signing up for Slack, if you have any problems, email me down here at randy@realcrypto.com. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. Like I said, I don't think Ripple's done. I think it's not very great to buy, immediately here, but one of my guys here says there's a big buy wall down here, so go ahead and check those order books, guys. Thanks for joining me today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you next time.